Everybody. My name is Maureen Mulhern. I'm the Director of Career Development, and we're really excited for Stack Your Future Career Week to have Miss Jennifer Santiago here from Enterprise Prize Holdings. Before we begin, I just want to, if your microphone is not muted, please keep it muted throughout the session. We are going to be recording this session. And we will allow for questions and answers at the end. There is a link for all of you online in the chat right now that if you want to click on that and complete it, it just allows Enterprise to know who attended the session. And that's great too. If you decide you're interested in an internship or an entry-level position, they know that you have attended the session. So it would be really good if you could just click that link at some point and just fill in the information they need. With that, I would like to introduce again Mrs. Jennifer Santiago. She's the Talent Acquisition Manager at Enterprise Holdings. And I'll turn it over to you, Jen. And thanks so much for being with us.
Thank you so much, Maureen. It's so great to be back and working with St. Thomas Aquinas College and the students. I've had the opportunity to work with Maureen for a few years and some awesome faculty and staff on campus and talk to students about some career opportunities. I'm really excited to speak with all of you today. I'm going to be sharing a PowerPoint presentation, but please feel free to put some questions in the chat and I'll make sure we stay on time. I know you have classes and a lot of things you need to get to, and just want to say thank you again for the opportunity to speak with you today. With my background, just wanted to share quickly, I will be celebrating 20 years with Enterprise next month. It's an amazing organization to not only, start in, but to stay and grow and have an awesome career. So what I'm going to be talking to everybody about is some general company information. I'll give you some updates and where we've been this past year, especially how it pertains to COVID. And I'm going to also speak specifically about our paid internships, as well as our full-time management training program. So with that said, again, thank you so much for attending. Please put some questions in the chat if you have any. We'll try to get to all of them at the end of the presentation, or you may see some of those questions answered throughout the presentation as well. So I'm going to start sharing my screen. And we're going to dive right in. And let's see. So again, representing Enterprise Holdings, really excited to be here. When it comes to our organization, a lot, when I usually talk to students and if we're in person on campus, I always ask, so what do you know about Enterprise? And usually the response is, well, you rent cars, right? Yes, definitely true. We absolutely rent cars. We rent a lot of them, but we actually do a lot more. We are a global transportation company. It's very cultural about our organization are our founding values. And this is something that isn't just stuff we put up on a website. This is truly immersed within our company culture and what our employees get to live and experience every single day. So there's 8 founding values. I'll just kind of talk through a couple of them and you can read through, and the session is being recorded if you want to go back, but you can find these on our website. Some of them that I love to touch on when I do speak to students is our company is a fun and friendly place where teamwork rules. Coming to work every day. I know college students, the past year and a half, there's been opportunities to work in a variety of settings, including virtual or remote type of work. This position and the opportunities here at Enterprise, they are in-person positions. You come to work every day. You're in a local branch. You're part of a team. You're part of a company that has a lot of family values. And, we're very big on recognizing your hard work. And it makes it just a really fun place to work. Customer service is our way of life is another one of the founding values I like to point out. We are there for our customers right in the local community. Many of our customers come to us because they need a car rental because their car was in an accident or their car is having mechanical problems. And that's a tough position to be in, but we get to help them. So we rent cars to a lot of those customers. And we also get to help customers that may be flying into a major airport location, or maybe they're just traveling for business or traveling for leisure. So our customer service culture is very strong. We are measured on customer service, and you have to have strong customer service scores in order to Another one
Yeah.
that I'd like to point out is great things happen when we listen to our customers and to each other. And we do this in a variety of settings. Employee feedback is so important to us. We get their feedback through one-on-one sessions with management, through surveys that we do on a quarterly basis, on an annual basis, reviews. And the feedback that we get from our employees has really impacted how we do business, how we operate, how we improve our business, how we evolve. So that is absolutely something that we've seen and is part of our company culture, not just something that, we throw up on a website. So I like to just point out a few of the founding values. If you go to our careers website, you could do a deeper dive into all 8, but these are values that are definitely ingrained in our company culture and that our employees get to see and experience every single day. So as I mentioned, we're a global transportation company. We don't just rent cars. Enterprise Holdings, we are a holdings company, and we oversee those 3 brands that you see on the screen: Alamo, Enterprise, and National. So right up until 2007, we were Enterprise Rent-A-Car. But then in 2007, the Taylor family acquired Alamo and National. And by this acquisition, we were able to really increase our presence in the airport market and focus on the business travelers and the leisure market. So we kept them as 3 separate brands. We didn't turn National and Alamo into Enterprise because there was a lot of brand recognition that they both had. The National brand really focuses on that business traveler coming into the airport location who wants to get the keys to their really nice, SUV or nice, vehicle that they need for their business trip and get in their car and go. The Alamo brand is really prevalent also in the airport market, but more on the leisure side, and it's very price competitive. So we work with a lot of different travel companies like Kayak and Travelocity. Picture that family flying down to Disney, going up to the Alamo kiosk and getting their car for their family vacation. And then the Enterprise brand, which is the largest brand with the most branches. This is your neighborhood or home city rental car location, where if you get into an accident, or if you're just going on a trip for the weekend, or if you need a car in the local area, you'll see an Enterprise branch. One of the statistics about our locations in the United States is there's an Enterprise branch 15 minutes from 90% of the US population. And I also want that to speak volumes to you as far as opportunities to work right in your local neighborhood. So those are the 3 brands where we rent cars. Now, just above that, where you see Enterprise Holdings, you'll see Enterprise Fleet Management. We also have a fleet management company, and they work to help larger organizations with their fleet of vehicles. So it's more like a leasing company, and that's another career opportunity our employees can take. Now, if you go below the Enterprise brand, you're going to see all of the other travel solutions we offer to customers, many of which really do focus on the sustainability piece, where we have the commute division and the flexi rent, really trying to encourage that carpooling type of scenario and that commute scenario. We have car sales. We do car sharing. We have truck rental, which is really big in the New York, New Jersey area. So there's a lot of different travel solutions, and I want to give a lot of credit to the organization's leadership and innovation to making sure that we have products available for every type of travel need for all of our customers. But in addition to fulfilling those needs for customers, it also creates really awesome career opportunities for our employees. Wanted to share some talent statistics with you, and I went back to 2019 because it's definitely reflective of our company as a whole and that long-term and our over 60 years of business. What we went through in the past year and a half with COVID was very similar to a lot of large organizations where, we unfortunately couldn't run a summer internship program in summer of 2020. And then, the hiring of the summer 2020, recent grads was delayed until the end of the summer. So I wanted to share some other statistics with you, which we are actually getting back to in fiscal year 22, which is really exciting. The number of college grads that we hire, the number of interns that we hire, all of the internal promotions that we offer to our employees. Now, Enterprise is an organization that only promotes from within. So any student that graduates with their bachelor's degree and comes into our full-time management training program, we pretty much expect you to get promoted because we will never hire from outside. Everybody in leadership and executive positions in our organization started out as a management trainee, which is a really awesome company culture to be a part of. So when you look at this slide, I really want you to, just understand the amount of opportunity for growth. This is where you can truly utilize your bachelor's degree stay in an organization long-term and have all of those job changes under all one company, because we only promote from within. So information about a typical local rental branch. So, a lot of the students at St. Thomas Aquinas probably live in the tri-state area, Rockland County, or maybe from New York City or the northern New Jersey area, maybe up in other parts of New York. Let's take your typical home city branch. I'll give you examples of two right in the Rockland County area. There's one right in Bardonia. That's considered a flagship location. That is a very high volume store with a larger team of employees that rents more cars out of that branch. So it's a larger operation. And then there's also one not too far in Nyack. The Nyack store is a smaller location where it's maybe between 100 and 150 cars that's managed out of that location, and a smaller team of people. So the Nyack branch probably have like 3 or 4 employees, whereas my Bardonia branch will have maybe 7 or 8. So we staff it according to the volume and size of that operation. We're a decentralized company, which means a lot of awesome things for our employees. We are a privately held company, but our leadership understands that what works for the business in northern New Jersey may look different than what works in the Midwest somewhere. So it gives our regional leadership a lot of autonomy to run our regional operations the best way they see fit, all under the Enterprise Holdings guidance and support. And that comes to the staffing of the branches, the rate structure, the compensation. These are all things that really are benefits of being part of a decentralized organization. All of the branches, working in a branch and as a manager, you are responsible for the profits and losses. And this is something that all of our employees are trained on from the very beginning, even as a management trainee, is understanding that P&L statement, how we make that income, how we make the profit, and how to really manage the costs and expenses. So for any of the business students here in the presentation, this is absolutely something that's important for us to train you on, so you truly understand how to run the branch as a business and a successful business. In addition to that, the motivation to understanding that is also being tied to your paycheck. All of our assistant managers, branch managers, and every position above that in our rental operations, they are tied to the performance as far as their pay. All of our employees have a very good base salary, which is a majority of their compensation. But on top of that, they also get paid off of the profits of the store, which makes it really motivating to run that branch successfully. And a responsibility to grow the business. This is what we get to do when it comes to the marketing aspect of our job. Going out and building those relationships in the local community with the business partners that can send us customers. So we have really strong relationships with body shop partners, with insurance partners, and with local businesses, both large and small. They can send us customers. We can rent more cars, we can grow the business, and our employees can be more profitable because of that. So I want to touch on the impact of COVID-19. Obviously, like many organizations, large and small, there was a huge impact that the pandemic caused. And I will say that we were also part of that. Back in spring of 2020, when things started to really get scary with the pandemic and, companies needed to respond to that, the whole time being a travel and transportation company, we were deemed essential. And we needed to be there to rent cars to college students who needed to get home from school. We needed to be there to rent cars to healthcare workers, to frontline workers. So we put a lot of systems in place to make sure our employees were safe, with everything with the cleaning and the social distancing and the mask wearing and the protective equipment. All of our branches were supplied with all of that immediately, so they can make sure they could be there to help those customers. We did temporarily close down some stores. And unfortunately, during the summer or the spring into summer, we did do some furloughs. But by the end of summer 2020, we were hiring again, and all of our branches were open for business. So it was a temporary impact that it made, although it was a big one. It's the pandemic. Our leadership really did a great job on the communication side and on a business side to make sure that we could be here for the long term. And again, to be able to bounce back by the summer of 2020, I think was really great for our organization. And we also put a lot in place to ensure that our employees feel safe coming to work every day. We have the Complete Clean Pledge when it comes to cleaning of the vehicles, also cleaning of the inside of the branches and any high touch areas, the guidance from CDC and the Department of Health as far as the masks and it's going to differ from state to state, and it has been evolving, and we are on the forefront of it to ensure that it's implemented in our stores. We also have a lot of different ways that we've been helping our customers by providing curbside pickup, and some other areas where, the customer spoke to us, this is what they were looking for, and this is what we were providing to them. So there's a lot in place that we implemented when it came to the impact of COVID. Another huge part of our organization, and something that's very cultural with us, is our involvement in the local community. And this is important because this is who we service. These are our customers. So our organization, I think, does a tremendous job of ensuring that we are impacting the local community, helping our local community through amazing partnerships with organizations such as, to give example outside of the slide, American Cancer Society, a variety of military organizations, providing, and anytime there's a natural disaster, providing disaster relief. We have great partnerships with the Fill Your Tank program. One of the biggest things that we're really focusing on is food disparity. And right here in the local area of Northern New Jersey, we were recently able to provide a $50,000 grant to the Hillside Community Food Bank, and our employees get to volunteer there. So if service is a big part of your passion and what you want to bring to your career, that is absolutely something you will find here at Enterprise. We also have the Road Forward initiative, where we really want to focus on our diversity, equity, and inclusion, and providing, really great support systems and grants to, education and diversity and leadership and career planning. So you can read a lot more about the Road Forward initiatives on our careers website. Again, where the early childhood development, youth health and wellness, and then the career and college preparation. The Enterprise Holdings Foundation pledged $55 million over the next 5 years to organizations that advance social and racial equity in these areas. So that's something that we're really proud to be a part of. And we ask our employees that work with us at Enterprise, what are some organizations that you know of that support these initiatives? And we get involved, whether it's through volunteerism or financially through a grant, to support those organizations. So what is a management trainee and an intern? What does that look like? What are the job responsibilities? What does that experience look like? What kind of training do you receive? Our goal is to teach our employees how to run a local rental branch from the ground up. So we provide training in a lot of different ways, but the main way is through on-the-job training, coming to work every day in this fun, fast-paced environment where you get to make an impact on customers right in the local community. Everybody that you work with in the branch started out in this same role. So they know exactly what you're going through as a new employee. And it's their job to make sure that you perform well, and it's their job to get you promoted. So that's the culture you're a part of. A lot of what you're going to be learning in the branch is helping our customers. You learn a lot about sales and generating revenue. You're going to learn about the back end of our business, how we manage our fleet and who gets what car, and sharing the cars with other branches, what impacts the bottom line, going out and building relationships and doing those marketing efforts to make sure we can continue to grow. In addition to that on-the-job experience, all of our employees get structured training classes that they attend. You are paid and on the job to attend these classes. As much as we can, we still try to keep the classes in person, as long as the class size is a size where we can social distance all of the class members. And those classes take place at our corporate office right in Wayne, New Jersey. If the class size is too large, then we use virtual platforms for the training as well. But every employee at every level, so every time you get promoted, you get more training classes to prepare you to be successful in your position. So it's on-the-job training and it's classroom style training as well. And again, this is because we only promote from within. So we want to set you up for success to make sure that you are ready for your next promotion. Now, the interns, the summer interns, we run a program every summer. It's a 90-day program, usually kicks off mid to end May and ends about mid-August. The college students that are with us for the summer have the same job description and get the same training as our full-time employees. They do it just for the first 90 days. And they get the first 2 of the 3 training classes that our full-time employees get. And what that does for the college student is once they graduate within the next year, it fast tracks them for their career as a full-time employee. So interns that came on with us were closer to their first promotions because they did an internship with us. And it gives them a tremendous opportunity to get promoted quicker within the organization. The summer internship, it is a paid internship. We just increased our hourly rate of pay, and we pay interns $16 an hour. It is a full-time position. So you get a full-time job in the summer. It's a temporary position for 90 days, and you get the same training and experience as our full-time employees. As an employee and you grow within the organization, the goal, and we try to just simplify it for our managers. We want you to drive the 4 core areas of our business. So the 4 core areas are something we talk a lot about in training classes, and it's a big focus of our managers. We really try to simplify it. So these are the core areas of our business. And one does not have priority over the other. They are all equally important. What I will say is a lot of our managers do focus on the employee retention and development piece as a priority, because that will impact the other 3. And that is a lot of what you'll see as far as messaging from our leadership here as well, is if you focus on the employee retention and development, then that will help impact the other 3. So providing really good one-on-one sessions and trainings with our employees, making sure that, we have those training courses that they're attending, making sure that the on-the-job training and the coaching every day that they get from the managers is something that's helping them grow. And that's going to impact how they help the customers. It's going to impact their sales, which impacts the profit. The training on the back end of our business and understanding what are our expenses and what our costs, that also impacts the profit. And then also making sure that we're going out and growing the business. We always look at year over year, how many cars are in our fleet at the store. So for example, I'll use Bardonia. Let's say their current fleet size is 220 cars. They want to make sure that that is higher than the prior year in that month. So in the month of September of 2020, if it was less than that, then great, that it shows that we're growing. If it's more than that, then it shows an area of opportunity for growth. So like many businesses, we always look at year over year numbers for that month, and we do our best to make an impact. One of the cool things about how we can grow our business is this is an exclusive technology to enterprise. It's called the red car technology. So if anybody gets into a car accident, they call their insurance company. And because of our partnership with the insurance company, that insurance company will notify us. And in the branch on their computers, you're going to see a red car pop up. That means there's a customer that got into an accident. Their insurance company told us. We click on that red car and we get all the customer's information, and we can call them to get them into their rental. So it's a really awesome technology that we have that helps us grow our business. The career path for a management trainee is really exciting. It's very fast-tracked, it's very streamlined, and it's very intentional. We expect you to get promoted. So as you can see, that kind of straight line that goes all the way across, that is the career path in our rental operations. Working in the rental branches, moving your way up to different positions into managing your own store. Then right in the middle where it spirals out, that's the branch manager milestone. So when you get to successfully run your own branch as a manager, at that point, you could start qualifying for other opportunities in our organization. You could potentially go into a different department like risk management or vehicle repair, or maybe human resources like I took my career path. Or you could potentially go into another division such as the fleet management or truck rental or car sales, all those other business lines that we spoke about. Or you can continue in that line and get to area manager, which our area managers oversee and lead teams of anywhere of 6 to 9 store locations. So it's a really cool leadership position that they have, and continued all the way up to executive positions. So again, all the way at the top, vice president, general managers, these individuals in our company started out as management trainees. Again, tremendous opportunity to grow. Another position that we hire for, and I like to share this with college students when I do info seminars, is let's say you're not a rising junior or senior, so you may not qualify for a summer internship. We have a really great part-time opportunity. If you have customer service experience and you want a foot in the door with enterprise, but maybe you're only a freshman or sophomore, or maybe it's the beginning of your junior year, you can come work with us during the semester. If you want a part-time job, you work right in a local rental branch and you help our customers, and you learn a lot about sales too. It's 25 hours per week. We pay $15 an hour. We're very flexible with your class schedule, and you have a really good opportunity to learn our business a little bit earlier in your college career. And then when you get closer to your end of junior and close to senior year, That's when we can have conversations about the internship program where you get that more structured training, and then the full-time management trainee position. So it's a really good opportunity for local college students to work right in our branches during the semester as well. We also have opportunities for our employees at the airport. This is a really exciting position to work in. It is truly a high volume type of environment. You get to meet so many customers and people every day. It's very structured. So a smaller airport operation that we have to St. Thomas Aquinas is we have our Stewart Airport. The employees that work at Stewart Airport, it's much more of a smaller operation, but we have our Newburgh employees helping manage that operation. But I'll use some of the tri-state area airports as an example. So Newark Airport, LaGuardia, and JFK. We have what's called our Best Person program, where we have our employees that are management trainees. After they're here a few months, some of the top performing management trainees, we will ask them if they want to get their airport experience in, and they go and they spend 4 months at a major airport and they get to learn the airport operation. You're meeting customers flying in from around the world and you're giving them their rental car. So it's a really awesome, fast-paced environment to work in and a really cool career path to have as well. The application and interview process is also extremely streamlined. The images that I have up on the screen here in the top right, where you see the girl, cleaning the car and getting the car ready, that's our main careers website. So that's what it looks like. You go to enterprise.com, and then what you could do is you could search for a position near you. So you just enter in your location, and let's say you want to put, Spring Valley, New York. You put in Spring Valley and you do a radius search, and then boom, over to the left, you'll see the search results, and you could see all of the postings listed with the town. Click on the posting that you want to apply to, and then get that application process started. What we do to schedule your interview is once you fill out an application, you get an email from me with the link, and you could see in that top right box, that image, that blue link right there, that's where you book an appointment with me, and then you pick whatever time works best for you. And then we schedule your appointment, and then I send you a link to do a Microsoft Teams interview. So the first interview is always a virtual interview with me or somebody on the HR team. And, just some advice on that. Hopefully, the students understand that you have to have some, virtual, interview experience. If this could be your virtual interview experience, just make sure whatever platform that the organization uses, you have it downloaded and tested and ready to go. We use Microsoft Teams here at Enterprise. That is a fairly new technology for a lot of people. We've been using it just for the past year and a half. Make sure it's downloaded. Don't just put it on your phone. If you have the laptop, the program is downloaded. Make sure your camera ready, smiling throughout the interview, making sure your audio is good, making sure your background is professional. So these are things that we advise as far as the interview setting as well. From a technology standpoint, we're really excited about where we're going, and we continue to drive into the future with this. When you go into local rental branches, you see all of my employees with handheld tablets and iPads, and this makes the rental car experience a lot more mobile and more personable with the customers. If you have a chance, and I could do a whole nother presentation on this, if you want to Google it, Google the connected car technology. This is something that Enterprise is utilizing that really helps streamline the process for the customers as well as the employees. We have partnerships with GM as well as Ford with the manufacturing of the connected car technology. We also acquired right before COVID the technology platform Deem. This really helps with our business and leisure travel. And then we also have some other really good technology with our rental branches with Arms Automotive, which keeps us connected with our body shop partners and our insurance partners. And then the HR team using TextRecruit and technologies such as Yellow, which we're using today. That's the link that everybody's going to click on. And what that does is when you click on the link that was shared in the chat, that will show that you attended this event, but it also shares some of your basic contact information with me. This way I could follow up with you and say, hey, if you want a copy of the presentation, or if you had a question, or here are some opportunities you could apply to with us, whether it's the customer service position or one of the other opportunities that you saw here. And I know we're kind of coming up on our time. We just have a minute left. I just wanted to, leave some opportunity here to see if anybody had questions on anything. And I'll also kind of just check the chat as well. But that concludes the information I have on Enterprise. Hopefully it was really informative for you, learning about our company, learning about the careers, the company culture itself. There's so much more information you can find on our careers website, which I could put in the chat as well. It's go.enterprise.com. And you can read more about, based off of what your career goals are. If you're looking to be in management and leadership, if you are just a underclassman looking for a part-time job, there's plenty of opportunities where you can learn in our operation then. And that's pretty much it. So I wanted to kind of maybe leave it for some questions if anybody had any, and if they wanted to put it in the chat, or Maureen, you let me know how you wanted to kind of do the Q&A portion.
Yep, at this point, either if you don't feel comfortable just jumping in, you can put it in the chat, but otherwise, if you could raise your hand, I think they're able to raise their hand. Let me see if I can take everybody off. Actually, put it in the chat if you don't mind, just so, and then we'll unmute you.
I just noticed one of our interns was on the call. Hi, Brian.
Hi, so I mean, I could talk about the process if that's okay, I guess.
And Brian was an awesome intern with us, and he's still with us, and kind of we had an amazing summer with Brian. He worked right in our Rockland County branches.
So I was actually in the Bardonia location. So the interview process, so first I had the interview with Jen, and then afterwards I had another interview with the branch and area manager there. And then about a month later, I went into the office, I had a tour of the office. And then once I started, kind of everything she was saying, no days the same as previous day. Promote within. I've seen like emails, like you probably get like 5-10 emails a week of openings and people moving. And what's cool is the two managers at my location, they actually started out at my location. So it's cool that you could start at the same location and make it all the way back to the same one. So that's kind of a good goal to have.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you, Brian.
Yeah, that's great. And I'm glad you could be here, Brian. Okay, Ryan Collins had a question. Does Enterprise offer opportunities for international students and help with CPT acquiring for the summer?
So part of the qualifications for any position with us at Enterprise is you must be authorized to work in the country. We do not provide any type of sponsorship for any employees temporarily or down the line. So in our experience with international students, the challenge usually becomes the goal of the internship. It is a temporary position in the summer, and they may have work authorization through their school, but our goal is to convert them full time. So anybody that we bring into the internship must have, at least, work authorization, but understanding that we do not provide sponsorship.
Okay. Paulo asked, how quickly do internship positions get filled? How often are the jobs posted?
Good question. Thank you, Paolo. So I'll be posting for the summer 2022 internship. I'll probably have the posting active on our careers website by the end of October, early November. And we typically conduct the interviews from that point on all the way into the spring until we find our team. We like to be done with hiring and all that. We usually like to wrap it up ideally by March or April. Sometimes it's done before then. My recommendation is as soon as you see the posting, apply to it, because this summer we had about 15 interns. Next summer we may dial it back to 10. We may bump it up to 20. We are not sure, but it is usually a smaller group and the positions do go very fast. So I recommend applying to it as soon as it's posted, which should be end of October, early November. And we conduct the interviews over the course of the winter break and into the spring. And it's a two-step interview process. First one is virtual with me. Second one is in person at the store location where you would potentially be placed.
Okay. Do we have any other questions? Okay. I'm not seeing any other questions. So with that, if anybody does have a question that comes up later on, you can certainly reach out to me, and I can get in touch with Mrs. Santiago and get you whatever information you need. But again, if you are really interested in the company, you should click that link that was in the chat so that you can let Enterprise know that you were at this information session, And I will have that link available if anybody missed that today or doesn't get a chance to do it before we end. But with that said, thank you so much, Jen, for participating in this. It was a wonderful presentation, very thorough. I'm sold on Enterprise. I've said that from the day I went to that info session years ago. You guys are an awesome company, and I hope some of our students will consider this as a great internship or entry-level position. So thanks
Thank you
again,
so
and
much.
thank you all for joining. I'll talk to you soon, Jen.
Absolutely. Sounds good. Thank you
All
all.
right.
Have a
Take-
great day and good luck this semester.
Thank you.